on YouTube. This is the very latest news from Fabulous 103 and the Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. It would be great if you liked and subscribed to us. Thailand's foreign minister has reported to the United Nations on the Cambodian crisis, which continues now, albeit with minimum violence. Of issue, according to him, is the already well-known incursions onto Thai soil by so-called demonstrators thought to have been well orchestrated, and also of Cambodians who've lived for decades on Thai land, establishing their homes here after civil war in Cambodia some 55 years ago. Despite living on the land, clearly listed as Thai soil, they've essentially tried to see it considered as not in Thailand at all. Repairs continue on what has been described as the largest sinkhole in Thai history in the capital over the weekend, as trucks continued to pump in hardcore and concrete to shore up adjacent buildings, so the Bangkok city governor inspected floods in other areas of the capital where previously there's never been any problem with water, only to establish that the company employed to clean and service drains had forgotten to remove sandbags that they'd placed across drain entrances while service work was carried out last week. That error, perhaps laziness, led to multiple homes and businesses being deluged with filthy floodwater over the weekend. In the West, they called friendly societies, and here they thrive in villages and groups where people pool their free cash into a fund that others can borrow from and generate a profit for investors. But often those funds become invisible, as appears to be the case in a multi-million baht issue in Jomtien province, where, as those with savings attempted since the start of the year to withdraw their funds, despite no accounting being available, the chairman of the society has told them that there's no money. He cites poor payers and bad debt. Locals think otherwise, and the case has been referred to police. The 24-year-old fund has seen investors build savings up to several 100,000 baht, which most plan to keep for emergencies or old age. The chairman has cut off all contact with them, and indeed even with his staff within the group, raising suspicion. The State Railway of Thailand is publishing new temporary train schedules for those travelling to the northeast, as flooding in Karak has caused serious damage to railway lines close to Nakhon Ratchasima and Chaiyapoon, with rails there well underwater. Reports indicate that close to half of the elderly population here has no savings and is carrying significant debt, despite modern trends and the number of elderly exceeding the number of children here in Thailand. In the past, it was parents who appeared to shoulder financial burden, seeing their working offspring be expected to support them, and as a result, a stagnant cash flow for them too. Number crunchers tell us that within 15 years, the elderly will make up close to 25% of the population, and without having any other means of support. Meanwhile, at home and the weekends for a pretty dismal nightlife in most areas, as our reporters tell us of plenty of willing staff but very few customers. Even the most popular of venues appeared to be struggling during this low season, with many clinging onto the hope of revitalisation in the upcoming high season. A clampdown on beggars in the city has seen many arrested but without funds to pay any meaningful fines. A constant source of annoyance to the city, reports tell that many are Cambodian with no desire to go home and no funds to support themselves. Using children as tearjerkers in the hope that tourists will reach into their pocket, many continue to sleep in shop fronts and alleyways, but with more and more expected to be deported. Many in Silachar woke to a long-term power cut yesterday after authorities were forced to flick the switches following an accident that saw a pickup truck speed into a telegraph pole, causing a chain reaction, and the further 12 poles crashed to the ground too. The driver was recovered and taken to hospital. Repairs were expected to take all day. And in an otherwise subdued weekend, emergency services were called to Jomtien beach after a man was rescued from the seas. It seems he tried and failed 3 times to join the beach and sea rescue teams. His pals tell that dejection led to his choosing to wander out into the ocean, only for what could have been his work colleagues forced to rescue him instead. And with the Met Office promising highs today of 32, dropping down to 27, rain and thunderstorms at any time, and the real feel at 38. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.